everybody thinks they're unique. Everybody wants to be unique. Everyone's like, oh, I'm not like other people. I'm unique. And the fact is, you know what? Most everybody's, we're pretty much the same. If someone was asking, hey, what's your generation think about these issues? What would you say? That's also really key. It's a journey. Like nobody's ever where they are forever. We're always changing in our perspectives. That's what's really interesting.
We overly judge the gay community and we treat them as like they're less than. And I feel like when people say like, and that was a big thing is I had to think about it from like, oh, take away gay rights and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, well, I want my father to have his rights taken away. And also he's a gay black man. So I'm like, or my cousin who's a lesbian black woman, I'm like, would I want her to have her rights taken away? And I can't get down with that. So.
I just want to give people on the stream, most of whom, by the way, are not of your generation, what's your generation thinking about all this stuff, as best as you can say?
So I've lived in liberal areas my whole life, so my view is pretty skewed. But I would say that the vast majority of people my age are quite accepting, especially on things like gay marriage or gay people. I think the opinions more split around trans people, and I mostly see the opposition or some sort of that coming with older people.
Yeah. Lyra, how many people? What's your generation really thinking here? What's your gut feeling?
I grew up in a more conservative area, so I think I experienced a little bit more of people noticeably being in support of stuff like Project 2025.
Well, how would they be what would you notice?
I mean, I would overhear conversations in school, people talking politics and talking about stuff like that, and also, people making a lot of political statements on clothing or, yard signs. It just shows up in day-to-day life. But I think with our generation, I think we are generally more open-minded. I think actually sometimes I've been in this class and it's made me realize we're all a little more the same than we think.
Yeah.
The people in the news are the loud ones, but I think they are kind of the few, even though it doesn't always seem like it.
Yeah.
They're just the loudest.
Yeah. So you identify as non-binary.
I do, queer and non-binary.
What's that mean? Because a lot of people don't know what that means. Well, it means something. If I had 10 people who identified as non-binary, you'd all say 10 different things.
Yeah,
so
we would,
for you.
And I think that's really cool. It's really hard to describe. It's a feeling. I mean, for me, it's more about I don't like being put in a box, and I feel like when people look at me, they make assumptions, and everyone's always going to make an assumption about me, but I don't know. I feel like gender comes with a lot of expectations,
totally.
A lot of rules, and I didn't feel like growing up that I fit into those. And it was a process. I'm older now and I'm a little more loose and I don't really make a big deal about what people call me or anything like that. But, it's a feeling, it's the way that I am, it's how I want to be seen.
Hey, when you say it's cool, first off, as a sociologist, first off, let me just say this, man. Everybody thinks they're unique. Everybody wants to be unique. Everyone's like, oh, I'm not like other people. I'm unique. And the fact is, you know what? Most everybody's, we're pretty much the same. And it's hard to really, but we're all working in these ways of just experiencing what we are and trying to break down some of the boxes that we feel like society forces on us.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I think stereotypes and generalizations are not always wrong, and they're useful at times. But yeah, we're all at least a little bit different. I actually have this quote that's been like bouncing around in my head lately from, if anyone's seen Ted Lasso, there's a quote from it that all people are different people. And I've been thinking a lot about that lately.
You remember what you said when I got dumped by that cruise ship dancer and swore I would never date another dancer again?
Can I have your tap shoes?
All people are different people.
I said that? Mm-hmm. That's pretty good.
What are the stereotypes that you think people have about Jack? What do you think people assume about him that he thinks about the world? And I mean, he's got 2 gay dads. So is he more or less likely to be gay?
I would say more.
So you think people would think that about him? Response to that?
I mean, I'm not gay, so I'm proving the stereotype wrong. But I feel like people think like there was that notion for a while, like, oh, if you have gay parents, like the kids might be gay, or like maybe it passes down or something like that. Like I remember when I was a kid, kids would always ask me like, after I explained them, I had 2 dads, be like, oh, so you're gay?
Hey, that's how it works.
And I'm like,
it's
no.
genetic.
Yeah, it's genetic. I mean, obviously, I grew up very supportive of the queer community. Like, my parents were gay. I was not going to invalidate their existence or start like criticizing them because they were my parents. Like, I never really saw it as anything different than like I just have 2 dads.
Yeah.
They're both there for me in like similar ways as like a mother and father would be.
Yeah.
So why does it have to be different?
Yeah. Okay, I got you. Yeah. All right. If someone was asking, hey, what's your generation think about these issues? What would you say?
I definitely think that like my generation is much more open than any generation previous to us. I think we all, for lack of a better word, don't really care. Like it's like, you know, what somebody is doesn't really matter anymore. We're all human, and it's less about like what makes us different. Is like what can we find in commonality with each other? Like what's a good reason to be a friend with you rather than to hate you?
So you feel like it really has opened you up in a way.
Yeah, for sure.
But because you have 2 dads, you get to experience this idea that, dude, like you all know this because you hang around the queer community. You're like, yeah, everyone's different. You know, it doesn't matter. But it comes right home to you. It's like, yeah, man, I get it. Huh.
I mean, I would say my dads aren't very like stereotypically gay either. Like they're very masculine, like they like to work out and like exercise and stuff like that, and they encourage us to like always do sports and stuff like that. And so it was never like, it wasn't like an episode of Modern Family or anything where it's like there's like a flouncy one and then like a more straight uptight one.
Yeah, right.
I think in terms of the like generational view of it, maybe it goes person by person, whether it be subconscious or a conscious fact that rolling back LGBTQ plus like progression and all of that is going to affect so many marginalized groups because of intersectionality. And I think it's worth mentioning because it's all overlapping issues. That entire community covers gender, race.
Yeah, Lara, do one of you want to respond to that? Do you have a thought to that?
I think that's really true. I mean, I think I personally am perceived in different ways being non-binary, but also like being perceived as a woman, and it comes with a lot of different views. And
how is that for you? Like, so most people see you, they assume you're a woman. Is that just part? It's life, right?
When I first came out as non-binary, I had this idea that I had to like really separate myself from anything feminine because otherwise people, I guess, wouldn't believe me or wouldn't understand. As I've gotten older, I've realized that like I grew up as a girl, and like the way you're raised with gender it shapes who you are, and that's still a big part of me. Like I still have the part of me that is feminine and that grew up as a girl. And so that's opened me up to like, people see me that way, but it's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah, no. I would say, as a sociologist, what I would say is, embrace that. And that's life, man. You know what I mean? That's just like a thing. Do you embrace it? I'm telling you, embrace it.
Now I do more. It's a process.
Yeah.
It's a journey.
Yeah. Huh. That's also really key. It's a journey. Like nobody's ever where they are forever. We're always changing in our perspectives. That's what's really interesting. Actually, I got an email from somebody recently who sat up here on the table like 7 years ago, and they said, "Man, I think about all the things that I said when I was sitting on the table, but so much has changed for me, that I'm not the same person, man."
Yeah, I mean, like, people are like, when you come to college, it's time to like experiment or whatever, which is true. Like, you can be whatever you are in the moment. Like, I have changed in my identity, but I don't think that makes younger me any less valid in where I was before.
Cool. Yep. That's cool.
Like, I've just grown and learned about myself, and I've gone through the stages of what I needed at the time where I was.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay. Awesome, man. Jaxon, dude, why you up here, pal? Wait, Jaxon has already volunteered, by the way, so that's why I'm responding to him like I am.
The reason why I stepped up is because even though I'm Christian, my father is gay, and one of my cousins is also gay, and I feel like because of that, it's changed my opinion that I used to have a lot. When my father actually, it was kind of a funny moment. My father came out to me, my sister, in Applebee's, so that was a little.
In Applebee's?
Nah, he was like, "Y'all want to go get some food?" He was like, "Yeah." He was like, "I'm gay," and I said, "All right."
Wait, that was your response, all right?
Well, I was like,
did you know he was gay?
Well,
did you have an idea he was gay?
Well, nah, because he was married to my mom, so I was like, I wouldn't think that my dad gay. And then, he was just like, "I'm gay," and I was like, well, I think I was like 12, and then so he told me that, and I was like, all right. And then my cousin, who we didn't know as either, she came out, and now she's married, and so it was like, and like our whole family, we grew up in a church, big church family, parents own the church, all that stuff, things of that nature. So it was like, dang, like.
This question about your generation, and you're part of the Christian community, so you hear a lot of stuff about gay people. How often do you tell people, like, "Hey man, my dad's gay"?
I haven't told anybody until.
You don't tell anyone?
I haven't told anybody until today. Like folks, because unfortunately my father passed 2 years ago. But before that, didn't tell nobody about it. Then he didn't want me to tell nobody. I didn't think so, so I wanted to like leave that to him. But I would say my generation, they're really, and also like the Christian community, sometimes misinformed. I feel like we overly judge the gay community, and we treat them as like they're less than. And I feel like when people say like, and that was a big thing, is I had to think about it from like, oh, take away gay rights and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, well, I want my father to have his rights taken away, and also he's a gay black man. So I'm like, or my cousin who's a lesbian black woman, I'm like, would I want her to have her rights taken away? And I can't get down with that.
So this is what you were saying, Layla. This is the intersectionality of all these issues, right? That they're all kind of coming together. What do you think are some of the struggles that Jaxon has as a Christian man with a gay dad?
I think that like many people that are like extremely Christian or are like the structure of like I don't know what like form of Christian you are often like quite homophobic, and so you feel like a sort of split between like, are they like faith? Do they believe in their faith, or are they able to support the people around them? So I feel like they feel like it like precipitates some sort of like crisis of faith.
Yeah, I would think so, really. Well, it doesn't have to, but if you're really kind of hardcore, is your family, are you Christian? Did you grow up Christian? Or you would be like Unitarian.
Yeah, we were Unitarian.
People who are really concerned about this issue, they're really thinking a lot about this issue. What would you say?
I think that on both sides, like it really just comes from meeting somebody and understanding them and trying to learn like a little bit more about who they are. Like I've known plenty of bigots who have like met me and liked me and then heard about where I came from, and that can give them a deeper understanding. And same thing on the, like LGBTQ side, they like, they're like, oh, you present this way. And then that makes them a little bit softer towards like other people. And I think that just meeting somebody is all you can do.
Okay. Listen, quick, really fast answer. Really fast. What's the coolest thing about having two dads?
The parties.
Dude, what do you want people to know about you?
I would say that being gay did not make me the way that I am. I think that I am gay and that is a part of me, but that is not like all of me, and that is not what got indoctrinated into me.
And it's not what made you a math major. Yeah. What's the coolest thing about identifying as non-binary?
It means I can see myself the way I want to see myself and like have freedom to express myself the way I want. It means I have a community of people who understand me. It means that I'm more than the labels people want to put on me. It means that like I want people to talk to me about it, like ask me about it. I'm so happy to tell you about it, and we can both learn something about each other.
What's the coolest thing about having a gay dad?
It teaches me that you can love somebody even if you may not agree with their lifestyle, and also you never really know what somebody's going through. Yeah.
Did you throw good parties?
Oh yeah, my pop, and he could cook too.
Yeah.
So,
All right, man. Hey, thanks y'all for talking.